All right, guys. So I've got Linda back, and you probably all remember a few months ago I did invite Linda for the first interview, and they got a lot of great feedback from my audience, especially people who are in the entrepreneurial field. And Linda is writing her upcoming book, which she's going to reveal to us. The first one was talking a lot about her book around using animals and bullying, and basically helping people to say, look, we can come against the culprits, we can stick up for ourselves. And Linda is one of those courageous authors that has actually come out and actually, shared her narrative around this. And her upcoming book, which she's going to reveal shortly, and she's got a great book launch coming out sometime this week, I think tomorrow or Friday. She is really ready to roll. I think my audience, I hope you all tune into this, because this is going to be a great interview to share Linda what she's been up to since we last spoke, and revealing her upcoming book, which we're going to discuss in a short while. So Linda, it's great to have you. Tell me, what have you been working on? And it's great to have you back.
It's a pleasure to be back. I'm happy to be in your presence and sharing stories. That's my business. I love stories. And just working, getting all of the ideas out of my head into the computer, getting going. Just all of the downloads are coming for different story ideas, all centered around the two dogs that you met previously, George the boxer and Mildred the Yorkie. And they're right in behind me. George is in the military uniform.
Wow.
And there's a hint for the next book in Mildred's portrait. She's going to space camp.
You're a courageous author, Linda. As somebody who's, standing up to many important life lessons, especially when it comes to the books that you've written around bullying and so forth, using animals as a way to share that narrative. Tell my audience, what have you been up to since we last spoke, and what's going on?
I've been helping other authors get their stories out, because everyone has a story. So I've been working with a number of authors to get their vision come to life, whether it's working on a storyboard, which is really important when you're hiring an illustrator, because they have to get inside your head. And in order to do that, we have to be very descriptive. So I love working with authors, hearing their story, getting it down and blocking it into scenes. And that is where your imagination just soars, because I'm working with the author to bring their vision to life. So it's whatever, I'm trying to get whatever is in their head out onto paper, so we can work with the illustrators to get the illustrations just perfect to tell the story.
Amazing. And you're saying you've had a lot of downloads recently with your last book, George the Boxer.
Yes. They come at me at all times. The next book, like I said, Mildred goes to space camp. I've already got one of the lines in my head of what's going in the book. I just don't know where it's going to end up, but it's going to be in there. And the other is a story about a neighborhood chicken. I have a chicken that lives just across the lane here, and her name is Banana. So she's making it into a book, and it's going to be all about gossiping. And what there's a saying that I always use, and it's what other people think of me is not my business. So it's just
a way to share that characteristics, right?
Yeah, and a chicken, they're pecking, they're making noise. So I thought that was a good tie-in.
Right.
And Banana, unfortunately, is no longer with us. Mr. Fox got her a couple of months ago. We're very sad.
Oh, no.
The neighborhood has been a little quiet since she's been gone, but she was a lovely chicken. And she recognized people. I took care of her for a couple of weekends. And she always knew when I was coming to feed her.
Let's dive down to the next book. So you've got something you want to reveal to my audience.
Yes. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and you've got your
The launch is tomorrow.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, this is the author copy, so it's got the not for resale here, but that is the cover.
Wow.
Get the glare off. It all centers around Hector. He's a foster boxer from Spain that I actually brought into my home, thinking that he would be a good companion for Ko or George. Ko is George's real name. And unfortunately, my boxer was a little too old to accept the rambunctious Hector, but I wanted to honor Hector in a story. And Hector's original name before he came over from Spain is Tango. So I created a character, Hector, the tango dancing dog.
Wow.
So it's called Let's Tango. It releases tomorrow on Amazon internationally. And if you don't mind, I'll just read the back cover copy for you. It's George and Hector, or sorry, George and Mildred are excited about the upcoming Christmas pageant and talent show, where Mildred will show off her flying skills as the angel with a capital A. But George is more excited about making a new friend in Hector, a foster boxer who has just arrived in the community. Hector is scared, and George knows how fear can sometimes hold you back. So George learns Spanish, and he and Mildred take up the quest to make a new friend and find out what makes Hector's heart soar. What they soon discover is that Hector is not a typical boxer. He loves to tango dance, but he's scared to let anyone else see his moves, including his new family. What would they think? Would they send him away because he's so strange? Or will Hector embrace this new life and realize that he's lovable just as he is? George and Mildred Let's Tango is a story of love and acceptance, embracing who you are and realizing that you don't have to be born into a family to feel like you're part of one. What's most important is who you love, who loves you, and learning to love and accept yourself.
Wow, what an amazing story. And that kind of goes with human beings as well, and using animals.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend who works with foster kids, so I ran the story past her and thought, okay, what do you think? Will this resonate with kids? And even if you're adopted, fostering, or even if you're in your natural family, there's always this question of whether you'll really be accepted for the talents that you show, because some talents are just they're a little different, and kids always worry about whether they're going to be accepted. And this story centers on Hector, and that's his fear. He's coming into a new community. He doesn't know anyone. He doesn't know the language. I know Hector does not like the rain, because the real Hector did not like the rain here. And in Scotland, that is a given. It will rain. Yeah. So it was just, I wanted to honor Hector because I couldn't keep him in my family, but he's gone to this loving family in Lockerbie, and he's living his best life.
So you've used this whole entrepreneurial flair. Like, what you're doing is you're a courageous author. You're writing about, this is an upcoming book launch that you have tomorrow, right? So
yes,
how exciting! And I'm sure you're going to sell many copies through that launch, and hopefully with my audience as well when they do tune into this. But what's courageous and what's so entertaining about you writing these books, and that entrepreneurial flair? How would you explain that in terms of you've used these narratives, these stories to really, portray animals, which can be done with sort of how people live on a day-to-day life. How would you use your entrepreneurial flair for that? Yeah.
I know that I had to walk the journey before my characters could, and I've always been a writer. So anything that I wrote had my heart in it. I wear my heart on my sleeve. My emotions show on my face. And I wanted to be able to step out of my own fear, because I had fear myself in stepping out and putting myself out there, because my goodness, what if people don't like it? What if they think it's weird? Like, just exactly what Hector was going through. And that was my catapult. As soon as I stepped through the door and made that decision, yes, I've got this book. Yes, I'm going to publish it, and went step by step through. That's how I got over the fear. And it's in the action.
Can we see the book cover again, just so my audience can see?
Yeah,
So that's
definitely.
coming out tomorrow. That's you're doing your book launch tomorrow, and that's coming out on Amazon internationally.
Internationally, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So if my website is being relaunched because I've grown so much since the original one was done.
Wow.
So that's being unveiled tomorrow as well. So I've got that to look forward to. And all the buttons will be on my website for all 3 books with a focus on Let's Tango because that's the newest one.
Amazing. So I'm going to tell my audience, do go to Amazon and take a look there. And I think it will be amazing, especially if you've got, these concerns, with personal problems. And I think books and then the way Linda's portraying her story could really reveal how their lives are, can be changed as well. So do check it out on Amazon.
Yeah, it opens up conversations like where kids might feel a little unsure or uneasy of bringing up topics when they're reading this book and they see the dogs are going through something similar. Who doesn't love a story about a dog, especially one who tango dances, right?
Right.
So it opens up the lines of communication where you might not know how to broach the subject with your kids. This is a way to do it.
So parents with kids, do take a look at this. I think it will be a great, entertaining read, especially over the weekends or in the evenings after school. Do purchase Linda's book. So tell me, Linda, how do you deliver your stories? What is it you like to showcase to my audience? How can you sort of spread your message to my audience?
I've been doing a lot of book readings, either virtual or in class. I managed to get into a class before the term ended last term. And it was a full day of, I think, 8 classes. By the end of it, I had memorized what to say with Life's a Beach because I knew the cadence. I knew what was coming next. I knew the reactions that I would get for certain things. And it was more interactive. I would like to do a story time on YouTube. That's the next goal.
Wow.
So it's just building towards that and getting other authors on board to deliver their stories as well.
And are you hoping this to hit the school shelves soon? Would you like it to, for a school to actually, whoever's probably watching this interview now, would you like to showcase that to schools?
Yeah, definitely. I've already contacted a school board here in Scotland. And I've got posters made. Let me just show you a quick poster here. I got this done for the launch.
Okay.
So quite vibrant, new release. George and Mildred, Let's Tango, and worldwide launch, just announcing it. So I'm going to be dropping these off to all the schools and the libraries in the area.
Okay.
Just to get the word out and offer my services for in-school classroom readings.
Any school teachers watching this video interview, do please reach out to Lindy if you can help her in any way. So tell my audience, with the books you've written, what is next for Linda? I mean, what do you want to portray yourself?
I would obviously continue writing the George and Mildred series. I'd like to branch out. I'd like to write a book for adults as well. Okay. I have a whole intergenerational story that has been in my head for quite some time.
Right.
And it's just all the strong matriarchs in my family and how they survived and adapted and passed along that strength to their children, their sons and daughters. I would obviously like to continue working with other authors to get their stories out. Because like I said before, everyone has a story and sometimes you just don't know the how of it. I'm here to let you know what to do, what's next.
Right. And this book you wrote, why did you write it?
Well, I'm still in the process.
Right.
And I started out and it's sort of autobiographical. And I started out because I had a contentious relationship with my mom. I understood where she was coming from. And when I first started writing, I was quite angry. And as I began to understand more and more about myself, about the situations that people grow up in, I was able to let go of that anger, release it, and see the story behind what happened. So it'll go through for me, to my mom, to my grandmother, to my great grandmother. And I don't know anything beyond that because I just don't have the resources, but it has transpired into a memoir.
Wow. And that's what made you pick up the pen to start writing. And
Yeah, I was a journalist for many years and I wrote other people's stories. And I loved hearing what makes people tick and what has happened in their life to make them the person that they are today. And now I'm writing mine.
As they say, every woman has a story to tell. And when I do, there's many stories, and it can be personal as well as social as well. Would you agree?
Exactly. Yeah, and if I can help someone else release those paradigms, the doubts that they have, there's always a reason why you think the way you do, and you have to delve a little bit deeper. And this is me delving into myself and helping others.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about the book launch. So you've got that coming up, and I'm sure my audience would love to hear about this. How's that going, and what do you expect out of it?
Well, the ultimate goal is to get as many sales in a short amount of time as possible to be listed as a bestseller on Amazon.
And you were a bestseller before that, weren't you?
Twice. I couldn't believe it. The first time, I was like just in awe of the reach that I had because I didn't realize I had that reach. And it happened the second time, and hopefully for the third time. And I've just been leading up to the launch. I do a post every day and a personal story. And throughout the whole process of putting the book together, I shared little snippets of the artwork. I'll show you my favorite. I have many favorites in this book. But this is Mildred, and she's an angel with a capital A.
Right.
So I use that as a post on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and Twitter. I'm everywhere. And I had a story behind this.
What was the reaction? Did it really make a lot of noise?
I got like 200 likes. It was awesome. And I'll show you the last illustration here.
Okay.
I also shared this one.
Oh, that's a nice one. It's like they're going together, and they're very sort of friends.
They're together. They're a family. And the one line in this book, and this is something that my one of my best friends, her son, said to me. He was 8, and he said, "Even though I'm not your blood, you're still my family." So that line made it into the book, and that's how George and Mildred. Yeah. Every line in the book, there's one. Like in every book, there's one line, and if I have tears in my eyes as I'm writing it, it's meant to be in the book. Amazing. So there's always something personal. There's always a story behind the story.
And this is why I love sharing your story, Linda, because it's very, very. It seems you've come from a sort of a writing background, but you've had also personal issues that you've had to cope with, which has obviously shared your stories across. And I think, this is what LinkedIn is all about. What we're sharing this interview is that we're hoping that these books help others. Would you agree in that sense?
That is my goal. Like, if my experiences can help others, my work is done. Like, even if it helps just one person, just realize that they are unique, they are who they are, and they are enough. That is all I need.
That's what we need to hear. So everyone, do look out for this interview. I will be sharing a post beforehand just to tell people about the interview that's coming out. My final question is what's next then? What you've obviously shared quite a lot in depth about this upcoming release, and we're all excited to hear and see this. What is next for you, Linda? Apart from helping authors, is this entrepreneurial field, like we're all entrepreneurs here, but is this something you want to take on board more and more as time goes by?
Yeah, definitely. I'm stepping out of my own comfort zone by doing this because I've always worked for someone else. Pardon?
Were you a school teacher before that? Did you do that before?
No, I was a journalist for about 17 years.
Okay.
My newspaper folded.
Okay, yeah.
And the industry changed completely. So I went into healthcare because I still wanted to help people.
Okay.
So I'm coming back to my roots now, and I'm loving it. Like the whole creativity, I just love it. What's next? You know, sky's the limit. I sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but just these ideas come in, and you just have to make a decision and do it.
And just pick up.
Pick up a pen. I would love to help young authors, right? I was in Liverpool a few weeks ago at the Liverpool Writes Festival. Okay. Never been to Liverpool. Went to represent Oxygen Publishing, which is the publishing agency that I work with. It's a independent publisher. So I went to represent them, showcase the book, and I met this little girl outside of the library, and we got to talking, and she has written her own book, and she's like 6 or 7. So I want to work with young authors like that, just in the midst of discovering their own voice and just encouraging them.
You can always spot talent, especially when you meet people for a reason. I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah, just the whole conversation. It was the highlight of my trip.
There you go, guys. So, you know, we're all excited to hear and reveal Linda's launch tomorrow. Are you expecting a lot of people to come along and obviously support the cause?
I would love the support. The launch tomorrow is virtual.
Okay.
So everything goes live. My website goes live. I will be hyping that up. And then on October 15th, I'm in Linlithgow, which is a small town, half an hour from me.
Right.
And they have this bookstore called Far From the Madding Crowd.
Okay.
And George and Mildred, the first 2 books are already in there, and I approached them to do a launch. So I am the featured storyteller on Friday at Far From the Madding Crowd in Lithgow.
And it's limited. They're using you for this tool, right? They're using you to do these things, right? And that's amazing, you know. So
exactly, yeah. So it's an independent bookstore, which I support wholeheartedly. I think books are meant to be shared, held. I do have my own Kindle, but there's nothing like picking up a book and reading with your kids. This is what it's all about.
It is. So tell us about your website as we close the interview. Tell us where we can find you, your new website as well, because I think that's exciting as well. So
you will love the pictures of George and Mildred. They're black and white, and you hover over George's picture and a bow tie appears, and you hover over Mildred and a little collar with an M appears. It's so cute. It's expanded to include speaker engagements, workshops, asking other people about their own pet stories, because I love incorporating other pets into the stories.
Oh, yeah.
Because Banana the chicken wasn't going to be in the book.
Yeah, and you use other animals as a way to share that, right, as well.
Yes, and if you see your own animal and hear your own story in the book, like I always try to incorporate something personal, whether it's my friend's dogs or naming a dog after them. So that aspect, it's www.linda, Linda, Erskine, ERSKINE.com, all one word. And it's more interactive. I've leveled up
that's
professionally.
Your new website for people to come in and tune in to it?
Yes, it's the same website that I had before, but we're finishing up the rebranding.
Okay.
And it's more interactive. I'm just very excited about it.
So guys, do tune into the website. Do go over there and do take a look. And, you know, support Linda's cause, because I think, you know, she, like I say, she's come from a background of, you know, working hard, it seems, helping other authors and, you know, helping other people at the same time. And I truly believe this is something that Linda represents as a person, that she likes to help other people. So, Linda, it's a privilege to interview you. What's any final things you'd like to say?
If you're thinking about writing a book and you don't know how, I can help.
That's a great way to close this interview off, I think, and I can tell that that is something you're really passionate about, right?
Everyone has a story, like I said, and you just need to get it out there. You never know who you're going to help by telling your own story. And I didn't realize how many people I would help by sharing mine. And I sat on it for so long, not believing in myself. If the idea or the story comes to you, it's meant for you, and you just have to make that decision, and your life will expand tenfold.
Let's try and sell as many copies as possible for Linda, and I hope you can all come along and support her cause. Linda, it's an absolute privilege to interview you. Much respect to you for what you're doing and the work you've done. It's great to actually follow up with you from our last interview as well, didn't we? We did that, and did you truly learn something from that last one as well?
I did. I realized that I can do interviews and I come across okay.
Yeah.
And it was just such a great experience to share with you and with your followers. And I appreciated all the feedback that we received. The love, outpouring of love was awesome.
And I'm sure we'll get more feedback in this one as well. Linda, it's great to have you, and good luck on your book launch this coming week.
Thank you so much, and thanks everyone for being here.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. George and Mildred, say bye.
Yeah, make sure you do get that.